Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to yet another episode on the Success Gyan podcast. My name is Rajiv Talreja, and today we're going to have a very important conversation because we're going to talk about the art of hiring and firing. Now, if you're a business owner, I know the moment I said the topic, that the topic is the art of hiring and firing, as a business owner, there would have been a smile on your face, and that smile on your face is not the smile of joy, but the smile of pain. Because I understand as an entrepreneur how firing and hiring the right people is such a big pain point for so many business owners. Okay, by the way, I meant firing the wrong people and hiring the right people. So today we're going to deep dive into this conversation around hiring and firing people. Because at the end of the day, let's understand one truth. Even if you have a great product, even if you have a great service, even if you have happy customers, at the end of the day, if you do not get your hiring and firing right, that can delay and defer all your plans, because the quality of the team that you have determines the quality and the scale of the business you will build. The hiring and firing exercise can either make your business or break your business. Think about it. A great product, a great service cannot take off and fulfill its business potential if we do not have the right team backing us. A great product or a great service cannot take off if we do not fire the wrong people in our teams, in our organizations, in our environments. And this conversation is so important because I truly believe many of you listening, many of you watching have a great product or service, but you're not able to fulfill the potential of that product or service because you may not have the right team backing you up. So, through this episode, I want to break down for you the art of hiring and firing. Now, before I go into the skill aspect of how do you hire and how do you fire, I want to talk about the mindset aspect. Because here's the truth: many business owners have many misconceptions and notions that actually stop them from being effective in hiring and firing. So, I want to address the mindset issues first before we talk about the skill set and the steps. Because at the end of the day, even if I break down for you the skill sets and the steps, if your mindset is not aligned, that's like having an outdated software and trying to run the latest hardware on the outdated software. You know what will happen, right? The system will crash. So let's upgrade our software around hiring and firing. And let's do that by understanding some of the most common mindset gaps and traps that business owners have around this conversation of hiring and firing. Let's get started with the first mindset challenge. One of the most common things that I come across as a business coach when I work with entrepreneurs is the mindset that hiring is an expense. Now, think about it. If your mindset as a business owner is that hiring will increase your overheads, increase your expenses, and therefore to avoid the increment of expenses and overheads, your thought process is let me not hire, let me do as much of work as I can do, then that's actually a trap, my friend. Hiring is not an expense, hiring is an investment. The reason I call hiring an investment is because think about it. When you hire the right people, you are able to delegate the tasks and activities that you are currently spending your time and effort on. And when they are able to take over those tasks and activities from you, you are able to create time freedom for yourself to be able to do what you are supposed to do in your business, which is focus on growth and expansion. Think about it. As a business owner, if you are the one who's driving marketing to generate leads, driving sales to close deals, and servicing the client in operations and doing accounts by yourself, then you cannot do everything consistently and you're just playing for month to month survival. You're just stuck in day to day crisis, jumping from one activity to the other activity. But when you hire focus teams, let's just say you hire an accountant, then you take off the burden of doing the accountant activity from your shoulders and you delegate it to an expert who knows exactly what needs to be done, therefore giving yourself time freedom to focus on more growth oriented activities. When you hire for operations, you let go of the trap of being involved in every single project, servicing every single client, and you're able to create time freedom for yourself to focus on growth and expansion. When you hire for sales, you have someone who's going out on behalf of your business and constantly reaching out to prospect customers, introducing your organization, introducing your products or services, networking on your behalf, building relationships on the behalf of your organization, and therefore making sure that the activity of selling is consistent. Because think about it, let's face it, even if you are the best salesperson on the team, you're not able to sell consistently. You're not able to put in effort in sales activities and reach out to new prospects on a daily basis. So, delegating sales by hiring someone who's effective at selling is releasing a huge burden off your shoulders and bringing in consistency of activity, which has the potential to generate consistent income for your business. So, hiring is not an expense, hiring is an investment, and smart entrepreneurs understand that. Weak entrepreneurs have this notion of hiring is an expense, but what they don't realize is that not hiring is even more expensive. Because think about it, if you are not hiring, then you are doing everything by yourself, and your time, effort, energy, and skills are invested in just managing day to day activities of survival rather than playing the growth and expansion game for your business. So, the first mindset one needs to understand is that hiring is an investment, it's not an expense. This is what gets you to be open to hiring and building a team one person at a time, one department at a time. Which brings me to the second mindset trap that a lot of people have around hiring and firing. The second mindset trap that a lot of business owners have is their concern is they say, Rajiv, I understand your rationale and logic that hiring is an investment. It allows me to delegate the work that I'm doing currently. It allows me to get time freedom so I can focus on growth and expansion. But Rajiv, here's the truth. Even after I hire, even after I pay a person a good salary, even after I train them, coach them, teach them everything, and I trust them, after 1 or 2 years, when that person leaves, then my time, my money, my effort invested all goes down the drain. So, what's the point of hiring if people are eventually going to learn and they're going to leave to get a better job or to start something of their own? Well, firstly, I empathize with the emotion an entrepreneur faces or experiences when someone who they trusted, someone who they developed, someone who they handheld leaves the organization to pursue better, bigger opportunities. Now, while I empathize with that mindset, I don't like to encourage that mindset, because at the end of the day, think about it, people will leave. Nowadays, marriages don't last. You're expecting your team members to last with you forever. Nowadays, children grow up and don't want to live with their parents. You're expecting your team members to live with you forever. That's a big notion. It's a lie that we live. What I need you to do instead to be effective in this situation is understand that people will leave and it's okay, and emotionally accept that it's okay. Many entrepreneurs understand logically that people will leave, but emotionally they don't accept it. So when that team member leaves, they go into this hiring coma where they beat their chest, break their bangles, and say, I will never trust people. I will never hire people. I will do everything by myself. I have learned my lesson, is what they claim. But the truth is this: if you're going into the mindset of, I will never trust people, I will never hire people, I will do everything by myself, then that's not called learning. That's called limiting yourself based on your experience. Ladies and gentlemen, I really want you to understand it's the right of every team member of yours to pursue bigger, better opportunities or to pursue their own passion and dreams. If you have this entitlement that you own them, then honestly, they better leave, because nobody deserves to be with a person who wants to own and control their destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, your problem is not in people leaving. Your problem is that when a person leaves, the work that they were doing gets affected. And for you to solve that problem, you don't have to close yourself to the idea of hiring. You just got to be open that people will leave. Your job is to educate people when they join you on how to leave. Teach them how to leave. Teach them that, hey, whenever you want to leave, we are free, we are happy to let you go, but leave with integrity, leave with responsibility. Help us transition the work that you are doing to somebody else so that the continuity of the work does not get affected. Help us transition the data and information so someone else can pick the ball up from where you're dropping it. Help us train a replacement so somebody else can make sure that the business does not suffer. And whenever you leave, leave with integrity so we can have a relationship even beyond your tenure with the organization or the company. And if you're starting your own business in the same space, leave with integrity and respect so we can support you and mentor you through this journey. When you train your people on how to live, I'm not saying everybody will listen to it and everybody will follow it, but at least out of 10 people, 8 people on your team will develop a conscience and they will live with integrity. Two may still live like frauds. They may abscond overnight and steal some data and steal some clients, but that's a part and parcel of the journey of building a business. So what I want you to understand around the art of hiring is the reality that hiring is an investment and people will leave. And the third mindset that I want to talk to you about is around firing. A lot of times, I see a lot of business owners, they do not fire people. They don't make that decision to let someone go. Even if that person is toxic, even if that person is lying, cheating, stealing from the organization, I see the business owner not being courageous enough to make that decision to fire the person. Now, this lack of courage is sometimes covered up with a fake mask of compassion, saying, Rajiv, I am not like them. I cannot fire them. I can't make that decision to let that person go and kick on someone's stomach and livelihood. I can't do that. Hey, listen, if somebody is lying, cheating, stealing, or manipulating, that's a character problem. That's an integrity problem. That means you have someone who's polluting your environment. When you make a decision to fire such a person, that's not a sign of lack of compassion. That's a sign of courage and integrity. So I want you to buckle up and not wear this fake mask of compassion when it comes to making the decision of firing people. Do not cover up the lack of courage with this holy mask of compassion. I'm not asking you to fire people who are not achieving their results. People who are not achieving their results are at least trying with sincerity. I'm asking you to let those people go and fire those who lack integrity. Those who are lying, cheating, stealing, manipulating deserve to be fired with a zero tolerance policy so that you send a message out to the rest of your team on what is the culture of this workplace. So that's a very critical aspect for you to understand when it comes to firing people. Firing people is not wrong. Sometimes it's important for you to intervene and let them go so that they learn a deeper lesson as a professional, as a human, and buckle up. If they are going to go into a negative spiral beyond the decision of firing, too bad for them. You are not a rehabilitation center for criminals. Remember that. So if somebody is lying, cheating, or stealing or manipulating in your organization, fire with a zero tolerance policy and fire being guilt free. You're not a rehabilitation center for criminals. Please remember that. Another aspect about firing is this: when I talk about firing, I'm not talking about you becoming inhuman. I'm not talking about you being a dictator or you being authoritative and exploitative and firing those who are not producing results. All I'm saying is this: let people go who are not able to show progress even after you're showing support. So, one aspect of firing is to fire those who are lying, cheating, stealing, and manipulating. That's a character problem. Have zero tolerance, let them go immediately. The second aspect of firing is sometimes you have to make the decision of firing where you have a team member who does not have the required attitude, does not have the required skills, who does not have the required knowledge. And even after you training them, coaching them, mentoring them, hand holding them, they do not have the learning ability to comprehend what you're teaching them. In such a case, it's a poor fitment for that particular job role, and it doesn't make sense to just keep carrying that person on your shoulders and moving forward when they're not showing even an iota of progress. In such a scenario, it's best to let the person know that the role that they are playing in this organization is not suitable to their capabilities and based on their personality and capability to guide them on what kind of role and in which kind of industry will their capabilities fit best, will their personality fit best, and ask them to part ways so that they are not living in an environment where their self-esteem is taking a beating on a daily basis because they are not able to perform and they are not able to step up. So sometimes firing has to be done with those who are not showing progress in capability because of lack of comprehension ability or because of pure lack of fitment with the organization and the role that the organization is providing. Firing can be done with grace, with compassion, and with a lot of empathy. When you have put in the effort of training, coaching, and mentoring an individual before you reach the conclusion that they actually don't fit and they don't have the ability to step up, when you put that effort, it is clear to even that individual that you're letting go that you have been fair in the process. So these are the four pointers that I wanted to share with you in today's episode around the art of hiring and firing. Today, I want to just leave you with this thought process of what needs to shift in your mindset around hiring and firing. There is a total science around how you hire and how you fire, but we'll talk about that on another day. Today, I want you to shift this perspective and soak in the pointers that I've shared with you. I hope you found this episode useful. I will see you soon in another episode of the Success Gyan podcast.